Netflix's The Perfect Couple weaves small clues that are easily missed into the mystery, hinting at Merritt's killer's identity from early on. With murder at the center of the limited series plot, showrunner Jenna Lamia needed to create a web of possible suspects while hinting at the actual murderer's identity throughout. Critics and audiences of The Perfect Couple are divided on how successful the script is in executing this goal. Despite all the criticism, it isn't fair to say that Lamia didn't provide ample clues as to the killer's identity. The series includes many hints that Abby is the true killer of Merritt. On their own, they might not be noticeable, but they help create a bigger picture of what happened the night before Amelia and Benji's wedding. Abby packs up Merritt's clothes. Abby's doesn't want people to linger on Merritt's death. Abby is at the pool in The Perfect Couple episode 1. Soon after the police start investigating the death, Abby starts acting like everyone should just forget about Merritt. A prime example of this is her packing up the victim's clothing despite the police not wanting anyone to contaminate the possible crime scene. She tells Amelia that the police can arrest her if they have a problem with it. Since there isn't anything incriminating in Merritt's stuff, the only explanation for this action is that she's eager for everyone to move on. Considering Abby murdered Merritt, her desperation for everyone to move on makes complete sense. If people look closer into the crime, they could discover what Abby did. Though, admittedly, there was little concrete evidence for the police to find by the end of The Perfect Couple. Theoretically, the sooner they focus on other things, the sooner Abby can stop worrying. Abby jokes that she'll never be arrested because she's a pregnant white lady. Abby's overconfidence begs the question of what else she thinks she can get away with. Abby Winbury, Dakota Fanning, looking ahead in The Perfect Couple image via Netflix. In addition to the suspiciousness of Abby packing up Merritt's clothes, she says one quote during that scene which raises immediate red flags. After saying the police can arrest her if they don't like what she's doing, she jokes that they'll never arrest her because she's a pregnant white lady. Abby's overconfidence could just be seen as a rare moment of self-awareness about the amount of privilege she holds. However, she never shows that kind of reflection in any other part of The Perfect Couple. On the other hand, Abby could be saying this because she truly believes the police would never arrest her. If she thinks she could get away with contaminating a crime scene, what else does she think she could get away with? It's not a far stretch to conclude that she committed other crimes. Frankly, the fact that Amelia doesn't react like Abby's joke is weird is baffling. Abby tries to leave the island in The Perfect Couple episode 2. Abby rushes to leave Nantucket for a hair appointment. Thomas and Abby are at the dinner table in The Perfect Couple episode 3. One of the most suspicious behaviors of Abby early in The Perfect Couple is the fact that she tries to leave the island in episode 2. Despite the police telling the entire family that they have to stay in the area. When Thomas reminds her of this, she says she got approval to go. Based on Detective Nikki Henry's interactions with the Winbury family, there's no reason to believe that she would give Abby and Thomas authorization to leave the island. Maybe the police would make an exception if there was a medical emergency, but them giving her permission to go for a hair appointment is downright laughable. Ultimately, the true reason for Abby's urgency to get out of the area is hidden because of her privilege and neuroticism. Everything up to that point indicates that she's someone who would try to get around the rules for something like a hair appointment. Tallow is listed in the toxicology report. Abby's pregnancy bomb contains tallow. Dakota Fanning as Abby in The Perfect Couple lounging by the pool while talking to Amelia. The biggest hint that Abby killed Merritt before the ending occurs in The Perfect Couple episode 4, when Officer Carter learns that traces of tallow appeared in Merritt's toxicology report. The ingredient name should sound familiar to viewers because, in an earlier episode, Abby tells Amelia that the balm she uses for her belly contains tallow. She elaborates that the ingredient is illegal for cosmetics in the US and that it helps with stretch marks. Considering the ingredient isn't easily obtainable, the likelihood of both Abby and someone else in the family having access to a product containing tallow seems low. In addition to hinting at her involvement, the tallow in the balm is essentially the only physical evidence that could link Abby to the crime in the end. There's circumstantial evidence, like the conflicting stories about where Thomas was, but the only other concrete evidence was likely washed away when Abby cleaned the glass. Abby washes a glass early in The Perfect Couple. Abby didn't leave the cup for Gosha to clean. Abby crushes up pills to put in orange juice in The Perfect Couple. When Detective Henry first meets Abby, she's washing a lone glass with remnants of orange juice, a very strange action based on the character's personality. Abby expects Gosha to do everything for her, including getting her yogurt from the fridge, an extremely easy task that doesn't involve getting her hands dirty. Her willingly washing a glass because the caterers missed it is entirely out of character unless she has an ulterior motive. The other possible explanation is that she's doing it to cope with the stress. Even then, it's still very odd that she would manage her emotions by cleaning. Eventually, the perfect couple reveals that she cleaned the glass she gave to Merritt with the crushed-up barbiturate inside. This not only removes traces of the drug but gives her a solid excuse for her fingerprints being on the cup if the police decide to investigate.